This is the first look at the Light-O-Rama S5. And so if you want to download it, you can go to forums.lightorama.com. If you just go up to the top and type beta, you should see that the first couple of things should be dealing with the S5. Do this one, version 5.00, as an open beta, and then there's a download link to it. So I'm going to go ahead and download that and install it. Okay, so I have just put it on a folder in my desktop. I have absolutely no shortcuts for this, so I'm just going to have to look through this folder, dig through these files, and find the programs that I'm wanting. Normally, you would just go down to your start menu, type in Light-O-Rama, and then it would list all of your programs. Now, it does have the programs listed here, but that is for S4, not for S5. So I'm just going to look through here. Immediately, I can see that there's the Superstar editor. They have taken out the visualizer and the pixel editor and combined it all into the sequence editor. So that is what we will open now. And it says that it's the first time that I've used it, which is true. It is. Documents Light-O-Rama. Again, I am going to put that to something different so it does not interfere at all. And it's saying that my license is not valid because I'm using it. Saying that my license isn't valid, which is fine, but it is, and I will update. So it welcomes you with a screen and it tells you what's new. Kind of explained it earlier, but basically the sequence editor, pixel editor, and visualizer have been combined into a single program. So this is the screen that it will open up on default if you have not opened a sequence. I am going to select the sequence for it to be opened, and I have actually not done this before, so I'm not quite sure what it will do. I'm going to pick the Wizards in Winter from last year. So
the sequence must be upgraded in order to work with S5, and S5, every sequence is assigned to a preview that defines all props, lights, and channels used, and it's typically you'll need just one preview for all sequences.
So it's like the visualizer, of which I never used the visualizer, so I am going to auto-generate a new preview. Okay, so it's asking me which track. I only use one track in all of my sequences. Then I have mine all separated into these lovely groups. Now, one thing I did notice right off the bat is that these aren't lovely little separated blocks. So when you're selecting a group, I kind of have to, I'm a little confused about what I'm doing on the side. And if we remember from S4, when you play a sequence, oh no, see that's not gonna work. S4, when you actually played a sequence, these on the left would light up accordingly with these dots here. And you can still make this bigger and smaller. You can zoom in and zoom out. I'm going to zoom it in quite a lot just so I can see. Keyboard shortcuts are a little bit different. In S4, you could press space to resume, and when you would let go of space, it would bring you back to the beginning of where you were. This space is more like a play pause. Also in S4, when you were playing a song, of course, all of these were blacked out, but you could press space, it would stop playing the song, and these would resume. That's really how I sequenced. So now what you have to do is you have to select your area, play it, then you have to go up here and press stop in order to add a function, which I don't like. I'm sure that you've noticed in those couple little frames that when you press play, the auto generation is not great. It's not how it would be in my show. I'm not quite sure what's going on. everything's pretty much standard. I do notice that they have kind of streamlined this. They've taken away a lot of it. I don't see the preferences yet. Maybe it's in tools. Yeah, preferences. But so we have our sequence information. You can change the media file. That's very important. You can convert it to animation. This is how you skew your tracks and whatnot. If you want to add a sub-sequence or delete props, you can import a channel configuration. We have the same audio wizards. Now, this was a feature that I used a lot in S4, is I would come over here, and let's say that I wanted to add, I'll just minimize that. Let's say that I wanted to add 12 RGB channels underneath. I would just right click, and I would insert, I don't want to really insert a prop, I want to insert channels, but we'll try insert props below. Yeah, and see, that's just, I have no idea. I don't want to insert any of those, or a group, or anything like that. So I'm not a fan of that, so I'm not even quite sure how to insert channels. Manage previews? I have no idea. Can we modify the preview? If I click on it, okay, I click on it, it tells me where it is. I can then move it around. Does give me the option to change it to certain things, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this new system. I would always use just the default animator. I wouldn't even use the visualizer because I didn't need it. I had a few channels. Looks like we can change the height of things. Does that mean click on one and change it? Don't really see that doing much of a change. Smaller? Nope. Zoom in really far. Let's see. No, definitely not changing. We can create a prop. Whoa, okay. So this is basically the visualizer, just combined. You know, if I used the visualizer in the past, maybe it wouldn't be such a hard adjustment. But for now, I'm going to stick with LOR S4 because it does everything that I need it to do. And I heard somewhere that the Superstar was supposed to be included in this. And maybe what they mean by that is like the fancy pixels. You can maybe do more because it's like the pixel editor, but it just doesn't add anything super exciting for me to switch right now. It's kind of like Microsoft Word. They come out with a new one almost every year. There's really nothing new between now and like 2007. It's all the same stuff, just it looks a little different, and they move things around to confuse you. If you can make this work, if you find it easier for you, go right ahead, but I don't think it's going to work for me right now, especially, and this is my number one problem with this, you know, even though we have this crazy madness of blocks that are changing colors up there, is that I have to use my mouse now to play pause. Don't like that. I like using the spacebar, which I'm doing right now, pressing the spacebar. Somehow I've managed to make it do what it needs to do, but so I press play and it goes until I press stop. I press it again and it goes until I press it again. But still, these are grayed out, so I still have to then bring my mouse up here to go over here. Now let's play. Let's select. See, it won't let me select it till I press that. Well, this has been my first impressions on the Light-O-Rama S5, specifically the sequence editor. My general first impressions are that I'm going to stick with S4 for now until there are significant updates and improvements. If you're like me and you think that S4 is easier for you to use right now and you would rather not learn a whole new system and you still need to get your sequencing done, then stick with S4. I think you'd have a better bet with that. So, thank you very much.